My name is Sydney Fee, and I'm going to be demonstrating a discrepant event over matter. The materials that you're going to need for this discrepant event include vegetable oil, a clear 20-ounce water bottle, a cup of water, Alka-Seltzer tablets, and food coloring of your choice. So before we begin the discrepant event, what do you think will happen when you put water, vegetable oil, and food coloring into a bottle?
I believe that the three liquids that you place in the bottle will separate from each other.
Okay. So first you start off by pouring about 3/4 of vegetable oil into the water bottle. Okay, and then you take the cup of water and you fill it almost all the way to the top, but where it's, don't let it overflow. And then we're going to take 10 to 12 drops of food coloring and pour it into the mixture. We're going to put the top on it and watch for a second what it does with the water, the vegetable oil, and the food color mixed together. Okay, so next we're going to ask what will happen if an Alka-Seltzer tab was placed in the bottle.
I believe the Alka-Seltzer tab will react with the water and oil, and it would start to fizz and bubbles would rise to the top.
Okay, well, we will find out. You can start off by taking the first Alka-Seltzer tablet and breaking it into pieces if you want. And you just drop it in the mixture, and we're just going to see what happens the first time we drop the tablet into the mixture. Okay, we're going to drop the second half of the tablet. Next, we're going to drop the whole tablet into the mixture. We're going to put the top on and view it as, and it's still going to keep doing the same thing. Okay, so after viewing the Alka-Seltzer tablet in the water, vegetable oil, and food coloring, were your predictions correct on that? And if not, explain what was different.
Yes, I believe that my predictions were correct.
Okay, to back up, were your predictions correct when you explain what will happen when you put water, vegetable oil, and food coloring into a bottle?
Yes, I believe that they were correct.
Okay, so can you explain what caused the oil and water to separate in the bottle?
I believe the bonds between the two liquids reacted with each other and then became hydrophobic to one another. The water and oil did.
Okay, what do you think caused the Alka-Seltzer to react and create the lava lamp?
Whatever the chemical makeup of the Alka-Seltzer is, when it reacted with the liquid, it starts to fizz, as you saw.
Okay, so to begin with, when we're looking at why these things happen, we have to think about density. And density is the measurement of how compact a substance is, or in simpler terms, how much of it fits in a certain amount of space. And so, if we take an equal amount of oil and an equal amount of water, and they are measured, you'll find surprisingly that the water is actually heavier than the oil. And this is surprising to a lot of people because when we think of vegetable oil, we think of it's made up of fats, and we think of fats being heavier than water. But the reason why the water weighs more is because the molecules are more tightly packed in the cup of water, and a cup of water obviously has more mass if it has more molecules packed in there. So because the water is heavier, it's going to be denser than the oil, and it's going to sink to the bottom like we see here. And the food coloring, after it's flown up, it's also water based, so it's going to sink back down to where the water is. And obviously the vegetable oil is less dense than the water, so it's going to create a separation, and the vegetable oil is going to be on top because it is less dense than the water. Eventually, if we think about it, the water and oil would mix together, but it doesn't because of polarity. Water, the bottom layer, is considered a polar molecule, and vegetable oil, the top layer, is considered a nonpolar molecule. So you can think of it in simpler terms as polar molecules only like to hang out with other polar molecules. So therefore, the water only has polar molecules, and its molecules only want to hang out with each other. And then we have the vegetable oil, and they're not nonpolar molecules, and they only like to hang out with other nonpolar molecules. So this is why there's a separation between the water and the vegetable oil. When we think about when the Alka-Seltzer is dropped into the combination of vegetable oil, water, and food coloring, this is to create, the Alka-Seltzer creates the lava lamp. It's what powers it. And the reason why is it reacts with the water to produce carbon dioxide gas bubbles. And these bubbles stick to the water droplets. And the water gas combo is less dense than the oil, so that's why the bubbles come up to the top, right to the top of the oil, because it is less dense than the oil. And so they rise to the top of the bottle, and once to the top, the gas bubbles pop and escape into the air, allowing the dense water to sink back to the bottom again. And we see this because the food coloring rose to the top. The Alka-Seltzer caused bubbles to rise to the top, and then after they popped, all of the food coloring rose back, or drifted back down to the water because it is water based.